Hello paper crafters, here is the latest video for you. It is a Cheery Lynn release of 6 dies, and this wonderful autumn release theme was brought to you by Sigi Warren. She did a marvelous job for Dutch Paper Crafts in making some great creations. Also one kind of a Christmassy creation and some fall, mainly fall colors, and one kind of summer one. So I'm going to get right to it. The first die is frame 145, FRM145, and it's the Honeycomb Frame, and it is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inches. And you can see nice big honeycomb print there that it cuts out. And this is the card that Sigi made. It is so sweet. Here's the she put the colorful fall motifs on the card, and she used the frame and superimposed it on some fall-like color patchworks that she made in the background. And then these are simply Ukidah and Martha Stewart leaf punches that she cut out and put them in a corner, kind of like they're bursting out of that corner. And then here it says Autumn Greetings. And this was the die that we're going to be releasing too, the Pinwheel Aging. This one right here is the Pinwheel Angel Wing, and we'll get to that one to show you, but that's coming. And one other thing I wanted to point out, what the honeycomb frame is really nice for. I'm just going to open the card too so you can see the greeting there. And the honeycomb pattern, you cut out the main one in, say, black, and then cut out a bunch of these different papers with this frame. So you could have like lavender, roses, daisies, and cut them out, and then layer them in patterns here to make like quilts. And they make lovely quilt cards for all of you who like to sew or are into quilting. You could make a very nice card using the different cutout pieces and superimposing them with glue after you cut out a darker strip. It would really be pretty. So I just wanted to point that out, and I'm going to get moving because this release has a lot going on, and I want to get to this one because this was Sigi's favorite, and it is just gorgeous. It is the Notre Dame Cathedral window. Now I know both my parents went to have seen the Notre Dame and always said how beautiful it was, and this card is just gorgeous. And let me kind of take you through here. I'm just going to show you the back. Isn't that pretty? This is the die we're selling, and let me get to that right here. It is number DL224. It is the Notre Dame Cathedral Doily die, and it also comes with 2 angel wings, one for the center pattern here and one for the whole entire die. And you can see the die there, how pretty it is. And Sigi did a lot on this. It might be better to look at her blog and kind of see how she did this, because I'm reading it and it's, wow, this took her a lot of time. There's the sentiment in there. I'm gonna read a little bit of it to you of what she did. But she said, anyone who's been to Europe must have visited some of the great cathedrals, and they are incredible works of art, so needless to say, this die deserved to be placed in a cathedral-like setting. And that she did. This, just touch this, it just looks like a castle with the bricks. And it comes with 2 angel wings, and when you use the angel wings, they're only halves, the angel wings. You can't see it here, but you can see right there, they're only halves. So you have to cut 1/2 out and then the other half out if you don't want a crease in the paper, because it's meant to have a crease in the center, and then you line this up on the crease and cut the 2 out, or you have to cut one side and then the other. And the reason I believe Cheery Lynn does this is to save cost, because it would cost a lot of money to make an entire blank die like that, an angel wing. But by cutting it in half, they can afford to give it to you at a reasonable cost for the backgrounds of your dies. And then she made this how she did this is she said that she cut out the frame with heavy cardstock, added clear projector slide material as background, and glued the back of the plastic, let it dry, and then glued it onto the front of the stonework, let that dry, and then glued wax paper onto the back, overlapping onto the chipboard, and added that inside. As to the stonework, she found Martha Stewart's specialty finish at Home Depot in the paint section. It is the terracotta finish, and she used the white. And using a brush and a tiny spatula, she painted the goop onto the chipboard and let it dry. It warps the paper a little bit, but it straightens out fairly easily. Then she used Tim Holtz alcohol inks, mostly slate, diluted with water, and then proceeded to put it on a paintbrush and stain the entire piece to get the stonework effect. She let that dry, and then she cut out the shapes of the windows, and the wings were added as paper strips as hinges. And let's see, she used paper strips as hinges. Must be in here. Oh yeah, here are the paper strips as hinges, and covered the inside with the doily again. See, there's a doily here, there's a doily here, acetate here, wax paper here, kind of getting the idea there. And she decided on a year-round greeting rather than a Christmas gift, but you could easily make this a Christmas card. And I just want to bring up close so you can see how this, not only does it look, it feels like brick too. And here's the holly leaves and the ivy leaves, and I'll show you, I'll turn it over. And this ivy, this is a Cheery Lynn die too. I believe it's B168 Mega Flourish Ivy, gorgeous at this time of year. And there you can just see the stained glass effect of that window, how pretty that is. This is a gorgeous card, and it is bright out, and I'm not sure, but I did bring a little light here, little flashlight, and we'll see if I can kind of show the effects of when you shine a light through it, how pretty. It doesn't do much, but it is, if you could see it in person on the camera, it kind of mutes it. But it just looks breathtaking when you see the light shining through, just like real stained glass. Very, very beautiful card. This is truly kind of a gift in itself. And again, just show you, it folds up. Looks like a nice cathedral door there. Great job, Sigi. Just stunning. So the next one I'm going to bring to you is this die right here. It is frame 149. It's called Mexican Tile. And this Mexican tile, I'm going to turn it over so you can see this. Again, this reminds me of a quilt. Turn it over, you can see all the intricate ways this cuts. And the card that Sigi made was this one right here, and it looks kind of, and the terracotta Mexican flair to it, but at the same time some beautiful fall colors. And she said this die cried out for inlay work, at least to her, using the tiny pieces like was putting together a puzzle. And the diamonds are not symmetrical but have to fit according to their angles. Fine tweezers are a must for this kind of work, but for the patient crafter, it's a lot of fun and extremely satisfying to see the finished piece. She chose clay and earth tones for this design and used the extras to make different color palettes. The Spanish greeting, como está, right inside, means how are you in English. She had to handwrite it because she doesn't have any Spanish stamps. She used the EK Success heavy duty slot punch to make the slots here at even intervals for the ribbon, and also an EK Success punch is the zigzag inside. So what she's saying here, and I do this kind of work all the time, is she cut out this die in the terracotta and the green and the yellow and the red, and she took each one of the pieces and the yellow and pushed, after she laid down the orange terracotta piece, she pieced together with tweezers and glue and added all the different shapes, and the effect is beautiful. And even if you are not a paper crafter, you will pick up this card and see that it's inlaid and all the work involved in it. It looks like a mosaic, and it's just it's very, very eye-catching, and it just yells a lot of work. These cards that she's made are just amazing on the time that she took with these. And that's kind of what you that follow me are all about. You like things that take time and make these beautiful results, and I think it's because you know the recipient realizes this. And just these works of art that a lot of my followers make are just that. They're the antiques of tomorrow, and they give them to people who appreciate them and know how much effort and time went into these beautiful cards. So the next one is a darling little card. When I show this to my dad, he'll love this. This is the little chain link fence die, and Sigi was so excited to get this one. It is frame 144. It is chicken wire frame, and it actually has little tiny, if you can see it, little rivulets here to make it really look like a chicken wire. And as some of you know who follow Sigi's blog, she does animal rescue, wildlife, and so she incorporates, this is probably a little guy she actually rescued, and so she loved the idea of a chain link fence coming out to make things for her little animals peeking behind that. So the chipmunk is one of her releases after she let him go in the backyard. He'd come daily to stuff his pockets with acorns and other goodies to add to his underground stash. It's a layered background, and the stamp inside is the Nuts About You is a Hero Art stamp. And then this die right here is a Marianne Creatables die. I can give you the exact number off the top of my head. I'm not sure, but I know I have it in stock. It's I have released this before. It's been very popular. Probably not many of you watching this video don't have it yet. And let's see, the layer is Spellbinder's Nestability dies to do the layering of the card. You can kind of see that. I know Sigi bought the new Spellbinders from me. She ordered the layerabilities, I think I'm saying that correctly, and that might be what she's using, but each one is an increment, I'd say 1/8 of an inch smaller, that makes layering so nice. So if you're interested in wanting to order that, just let me know. I can get that for you. It is, I believe, just available in rectangles right now. This is Sigi's thing, these dimensional flowers. They're gorgeous. If you want to know how to make them, just give her a yell in her blog or go and look. She might have descriptions. This kind of looks quilled to me, like a quilling tool here. You can kind of see there. It might be the memory box fringe die, I'm not sure. And just a beautiful card. Just it's so cute. When you see it catch it out of the pile, it's probably not one that took as much time, but it catches your eye because of that little chipmunk. And the next die that we have, I almost didn't order this one. I didn't care for it. It's frame 148, the Japanese wall frame. But then I kind of looked closer at it, and I saw this square in the center and these little squares on the outside, and I said, you know what, this die has some potential for some fun things to be done with it. Especially, I like little things, so I thought, I bet I could have some fun with this die. And when Sigi, I don't know how she picked the cathedral die as her favorite, and I don't know how she did it, because all of her cards are amazing. So we got this little die here, and as you can see here, a little Japanese paper lantern, and you open it up. She's got these little florals. You open it up with the Velcro, and inside you have this gorgeous pattern of the Japanese with a little stamp in here, and these origami cranes. And what she did is Sigi lived in Japan for 3 years, and she had a pretty good idea what she wanted to do with this die. Wall hangings range from intricate to bold to geometrical and can have very bright colors, as do the woodblock prints. So she chose to go with classic blue theme found on lots of their pottery, and the die cut for the doors to show them how they cut out. In the doors, she just mimicked rice paper with wax paper, and in the walls in the room, she covered with fabric, which she found at Joann's as a 12 by 18 inch swatch. Bamboo skewers serve as the floor, and the lantern, which swings out when the card is centered, and once the body's glued together, it creates a kind of like a wall thing. So it's a trifold, as you can see, but it's made to stand up, and this is so cute. The little frame, so if you give this to somebody, there, it swings out, and it becomes this gorgeous little something to put on your mantle, like a little, looks like a little Chinese room. I want to put little dolls in here, and little mats for people to lay down, and those little kind of sandals that they have. I just want to do that with this card. It's so cute. It reminds me like of having a little piece of a dollhouse. And it's the fact that she actually made this mechanical to swing it out. You can see right here is a little hinge, and another little hinge right here she made with wire, so that this rotates. You can kind of see here it rotating, and to have the little lantern hanging up. What, Sigi, the lantern doesn't light? Come on. I'm joking, but with all the details she's doing, I feel like I should look in this lantern and see if it lights up somehow. And the lantern is just little circles that she put together, glued together and halved, and put them all around the dowel or a centerpiece there. It's just, it is, there's no other word. It's stinking cute. It just is. This is so adorable. And like I said, I didn't even think I was going to like this die. And this card is one of my favorites that she made. And again, motion. If you want to get me with a card, put some motion in it. I love motion. Adorable. Okay, now I saved the last die here in the collection. It's this B209, and it is the Pinwheel Doily with the matching angel wing. And she made this card, and this card is kind of cool. It's Halloween theme, and she put a brad in the center, and it spins, which is kind of cool. I just like that effect. You know, you got to have motion. It's all about the motion. Everyone loves motion. So that was cool. Here are the little bats. On the background paper is some spider web embossed things, and you open it up and it says Happy Halloween with nice Halloween colors. But she didn't stop there, and you're probably going, that's not really too detailed for Sigi. You know, look at the other cards. Well, no, she wasn't slacking off. She decided, let me make something else. And this is one of my favorite things that she made. It is this beautiful Halloween ornament. And just let me show you this. She didn't give me the directions on this, and I think she'll have it on her blog. But she put the different half layers and just kind of put them at even intervals here and then took these rhinestones and put them on the edges, and then in the middle of the center it's kind of gold, and it's dangling these beads at the bottom. So it just kind of, and there's this right here to hang it on, the little ribbon. And it's big. I mean, here's the size of my hand. I know I have small hands, but it fits in, and this would just be so pretty hanging from a ceiling, or hanging from a lamp, or to catch the sparkles. It's so pretty. It was the first thing when I opened the box that I saw, and I just said, oh boy, Sigi's going to have outdone herself with this release, and as you can see, we're not disappointed. And this, I think, would be fairly simple to make because it's kind of on the idea of her that we just saw, the Japanese lantern, except on a much easier scale. There's not as many pieces as she used in there, but you can just see by folding them in half and backing them together, you get this beautiful repetitive pattern. And just spinning it, it with the light, it just kind of captures the light and reflects it, and it's so pretty. Again, I'll just show you here how nice that is. And again, that was made with that Pinwheel Doily die, the B209. Isn't that nice? Love it. But that's not all she made with that die. She made, wait till you see this, and she didn't give me directions. You got to go to her blog, she said. Are you ready? Ta-da! Isn't this sweet? She made this little angel and somehow manipulated the die to make the cone-shaped body, the little hands here draped down, little wooden round ball there with some little wispy fluffy hair, and the wings on the back, and put that on top of a little tree. Isn't that sweet? I'm gonna bring it up close so you can see this little angel's face and how cute that is. And which brings me into it, letting you know, several of you have asked if the Marianne Craftables angels are in. They just got in, so you can email me if you're looking for those. They're similar to this kind of thing, but she made this with this die. But some of you have been waiting for that. Contact me, I have them in. But just look at the details. She outlined those little squares with gold, and her little face, gave her little lips and wispy hair. It's just adorable. Sigi, you outdid yourself. Truly, truly works of art. Please visit my blog for prices and further ordering information. I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have. And I hope you enjoyed this release and it inspired you to craft. Everybody take care and have a wonderful crafting day. Bye-bye.